My name is Leah Carver. But for 34 years, I lived under a name that was never truly mine. The night my father slapped me in front of 200 people, I thought my life was over. The sound of his hand hitting my face echoed through the ballroom like a gunshot. And for a moment, the music stopped, the laughter died, and every eye in the room locked onto me. Cameras lifted. Phones flashed. Some people gasped, others whispered, and a few even smiled as if humiliation were entertainment. My father stood there in his perfect suit, glass of champagne still in his hand, looking at me as if I were nothing more than a mistake he regretted making. "You're a disgrace to this family," he shouted loudly enough for the entire hall to hear. His voice carried across the marble floors and crystal chandeliers, slicing through me sharper than the slap itself. "I'm cutting you from my will. From today, you are no longer my daughter." In that moment, something inside me shattered. Not just my pride, but 34 years of trying to earn love that was never truly mine. I stood there frozen, my cheek burning, my vision blurring as tears filled my eyes. Around me, guests pretended to look sympathetic, but their phones remained raised, capturing every second of my humiliation like it was breaking news. My younger brother avoided my gaze, while my stepmother stood silently beside my father, her perfectly painted lips pressed into a thin line. I didn't argue. I didn't scream. I didn't defend myself. I simply turned around and walked out of the ballroom, each step heavier than the last, while whispers followed me like shadows. Outside, the winter air hit my face, cold and sharp, mixing with the heat of humiliation still burning in my chest. Snow fell softly onto the pavement, but inside me, a storm raged louder than anything the sky could produce. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone was vibrating nonstop. Notifications flooded the screen. Messages, calls, news alerts. Someone had uploaded the video online, and it was spreading faster than wildfire. Within hours, the moment that destroyed me had become entertainment for millions of strangers. I locked my door, slid down against it, and buried my face in my hands, letting the tears fall freely until my throat hurt from silent sobs. But what I didn't know then was that the very next morning would change everything. And before I tell you what happened next, if you enjoy powerful emotional stories filled with shocking twists and real justice, make sure to subscribe now. Because stories like this remind us that sometimes the truth stays hidden for years, until one day, it destroys everything built on lies. The next morning began quietly, almost too quietly, as if the world had paused after the chaos of the night before. I was sitting at my kitchen table, staring at a cup of coffee that had already gone cold, replaying the humiliation in my mind again and again. Every word he said, every face that watched, every second that turned my life into public shame. Then came the knock. Not soft, not hesitant. 3 firm knocks that echoed through my apartment like a warning. First, I thought it was reporters. After what happened last night, it made sense that journalists would show up at my door, hungry for more drama. My heart pounded as I walked slowly toward the entrance, my hand trembling slightly as I reached for the handle. "Miss Whitmore," a calm female voice called from the other side. "We're here on behalf of your biological father." For a moment I thought I had misheard her.